Gentlemen, awesome to be back with you on MGTOW Money. Today's topic, 19 and homeless. Before I get into that, you know what? Hey, thank you to the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel. Guys, you know what? I really appreciate the ongoing positive vibe from you guys. I sincerely appreciate the support. As you know, 18 plus months, it's been nothing from Google. God bless you guys for the support. That's all I can say. Positive support. We'll keep this channel moving along, at least for now. Again, thank you to the Patreon supporters of this channel. On to today's topic, 19 and homeless. I don't know if you guys, did you know anyone that's ever been homeless at 19? Well, I knew a guy. Here, quick story. Guy's 19 years old. He's a kid, obviously. Dare I say a punk kid in a figurative sense and a literal sense. All right, so this punk kid gets a wild hair and ends up with a girl, and they move across the United States, 1,500, 2,000 kilometers from their, quote, hometown. Again, and oh, by the way, the girl that he's with is a couple of years younger than he is. So that makes it even more difficult. Dropped out of high school, of course. So punk kid decides he's going to go to college at another college, and then ends up homeless without going into all the details. And oh, by the way, that punk kid, that was me. Yeah, yes, this is absolutely true. And oh, by the way, I ended up living in, let's see, three different houses. You know, just people were kind to me, very nice to me, and allowed me to live in their basement. Finished basement, fortunately. It wasn't that cold. Before I lived, we were at a shack for a while, then lived in a couple of basements and whatever, and then ended up in another 10 by 10 windowless basement room that we rented. But anyway, so needless to say, it was quite an experience, and there's a lot that you, my friend, can learn from this. I've got 3 takeaways that you need to take from my experience. Yes, it was a bitter experience. Before I get into those 3 things you need to learn from this, you need to remember this, gentlemen. We've got a sponsor here, and if you want to buy Bitcoin, there's a great way of doing it. And specifically, there's a way that you can do it to avoid paying taxes on your capital gains. What do I mean by that? Go back and listen to my prior videos where I talked about things like having a Roth IRA, because you can buy Bitcoin and other cryptos through something like a Roth IRA for Americans and not pay capital gains taxes on it. How can you do it? One way that you can do it, at least get your feet wet, is going and opening an account with Webull. Gentlemen, go to the video description right now. Open up a free account with Webull. You'll get a free share of stock. Throw in $100. You can get an additional free share of stock. You can buy things like crypto on the stock exchange. For example, look up symbol GBTC. Look up symbol MARA. These are 2 ideas, and I'm speaking from direct personal experience, where you're trading cryptos, if you will. And guess what? This is the most important thing. You're making money. You can make money in cryptos on the stock exchange, and you don't have to pay taxes on it. Gentlemen, listen to me carefully. Go to the video description today. Open up an account with Webull. If nothing else, just open up a free account, get your free share of stock, and then walk away. You can, and also learn about taxes, Roth IRAs. You can do this. All right, on to today's topic. Again, 19 and homeless. Here's your takeaways. You know what? You've got one person to rely on in this world. One single individual. And you know who that is? It's you. Every time you're looking in the mirror, you got to say, I love myself. I'm not joking about that. This is not being a narcissist. You were born alone. You will die alone. Ultimately, it's going to come down to you and taking care of yourself. You can't rely on your parents. You can't rely on your friends. When it comes right down to it, you are going to be responsible for yourself. You are the best person in the entire universe. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Guess what? It's going to be you who can best take care of yourself and make sure that your life turns out really fantastic. Forget thinking that somebody else is going to save me, is going to help me, that there's some sort of safety net. No, you are your own safety net. You will ultimately take care of yourself or you won't. And frankly, your life is going to fail. 2, have a plan B. Have a backup plan. In other words, you know the cliche, plan for the best, expect the worst? That's not a cliche. That really is and should be your way of life. I can, again, speak from direct experience. That has saved my ass so many times you cannot imagine. You must continually be thinking about what could go wrong with this. See some of the videos I've done in the past where I talked about setting up an anti-fragile life. See the books that I've recommended, for example, by Nassim Taleb. I cannot recommend enough, gentlemen. You've got to think about worst case scenarios in everything that you do. If nothing else, it's simply got to be in the back of your mind. But especially in today's world of investing, in terms of career choice, etc. For example, for years when I used to go into work, I used to sincerely anticipate this was going to be my last day on the job and then I was going to be fired, laid off, whatever, for any, God knows, whatever reason. The point is that I was operating from the assumption for years, this could be my last day on the job. And so therefore, what was my plan B? What was my plan C? And how was I going to pay the electric bill if I lost my job today? In other words, I was thinking about, so to speak, those worst case scenarios. I think frequently about what are the worst case scenarios for my various investments? What do I do? What am I going to do? In terms of what types of things can I combat this? I cannot emphasize enough. Again, you've got to set up a plan B for your life. You've got to have a pullback position. 3, men are invisible to society in general. Especially after you turn 18, 19, you're done. You're cannon fodder, if you will. I'm reading a novel right now that's set during World War I. A lot of these guys, 19, 20, 21 years old, who are sitting in the trenches in Western Europe, who were absolutely being bombarded daily with bombings and in incredible, horrible challenges, whether it be weather, whether it be shortage of ammunition, whether it be lack of medical care, etc. The point being, men, they'll put you in the same situation in a heartbeat if necessary. You are invisible to the greater society. Women are considered, fortunately or unfortunately, in my opinion, obviously unfortunately, a step above among men. They are put on a pedestal among general society, contrary to what a lot of feminists want to believe. You are purely, as has been said by numerous other MGTOW, and it's not a joke, you're disposable. Hey, if we lose 100,000 men, all right, we lose one woman, holy moly, the world's going to come to an end. And you know what I'm talking about here. If we lose 100,000 men, that's a statistic. If we lose one woman, that's a tragedy. The point being, men, is that you need to work from that viewpoint. That, again, you are responsible 100% for yourself. You are fully reliant upon yourself about everything about your life. And if you want to succeed in life, ultimately, it's going to be purely 100% up to you. Stop thinking about anybody else. 2, you're going to need to have a plan B. You're going to need to have a plan C. You're going to need to have a backup plan for whatever you do, that just in case things do fail. Okay, what am I going to do? If nothing else, just do a thought experiment. Okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do if my investments go down 90%? Again, thought experiment. Just think about it. Be brave. Step up. Think about it. Lastly, again, never ever forget, frankly, you're disposable. If you live or die tomorrow, They don't care. The general society doesn't care. And frankly, they're going to get on with it, just like most people are with their lives. You can move forward and have a great, successful life, though, men. This is in no way, shape, or form to be pessimistic, cynical, nihilistic. This is about facing the facts and reality, how you as a man can most importantly move forward and conquer the world. Gentlemen, as always, hit the like button if you found this useful. John Galt, out.